Again, a game between Cezary and Rodolphe. A bit short game, but interesting. It starts with this Joseki, which we saw, I think, 3 times in the top boards of this season. After which black plays Atari, extends, yeah, this is all good. And then white plays Hane from this side. This is not a Joseki move, the Joseki move is here. After which black should connect, white should create more liberties. And then white plays this move to win the capturing race. White wins the capturing race by 1 liberty. In the game, though, we see a move here, which lets black crawl. And this crawl is already very painful for white. Now there is a lot of weakness created in white's shape. We can, for example, think of a clamp. So let's take a moment to think about it. If white descends, black can go like this and white is in a deep trouble. But if white goes like this, then white can actually save his stance by this one chicken standing on one leg, golden chicken standing on one leg Tesuji. Black cannot play Atari from any of the sides. So in the end, the clamp doesn't look so attractive. We can now maybe play here, but then white simply plays from that side. Though, well, we can live in Ko. Good, but on the outside, it's not so great. But we can do a different thing, maybe. Maybe we can play here first and then cut. Usually, we don't play Go like this. But yeah, descent, we know that it's not good. And if white captures, then actually it looks better for black than the other variation. Well, in fact, white can still use that golden chicken Tesuji, but now it's, again, better for black. Quite painful for white. Yeah, if white connects, then, well, maybe now black plays around here, and the capturing race might be already good for black. So this is a good idea, to cut and then play here. Very strange, but effective. So white will be probably forced to extend, after which we can play from the top. So this is very pleasant for black. Maybe attach here or maybe not. Already we gained such a move on the outside, and later we will also have other center moves. Or we can simply play from the top. And if white plays here, we can still annoy white's shape with such a play. Black connected, all right, and then still goes from the top. So it's a compromise variation. Black doesn't try to do any crazy things like this. Maybe a bit of a pity. Maybe it was better to get a... Though it's a similar result. Black gets this one. Unless black really tries to go out with the stone, but I'm not sure if I would recommend that. It's probably too crazy to go out with that stone. So in the end, it looks like a compromise, and then black makes this exchange, and this exchange is terrible. This exchange destroys all the Yaji. Black could also think of such a move, and the capturing race, well, who is the capturing race good for? Is it good for white? It's not. What is happening here? White is dead. So maybe now white needs to resort to using black's outside aji. All right. But this means that black can now connect, and this is center for white's life. So white needs to add a move. And like this, black got 2 moves on the outside and not just 1. And in terms of points, it's maybe even better for white. I mean, for black. White anyway captured all this group, but now white will maybe need to add more moves because of Samedori. So this should be already better for black to play this in this fashion. Also, for the future, we might have an option to take away white's liberties if we manage to get stronger on the outside for now. But even more importantly, we lost a liberty and an option to make an eye, which can be also used against white stones on the other side. So after after this exchange is played, this move is much less painful for white. White will simply go out. But without the exchange, it's actually difficult for white to think of going out, because black can put a lot of pressure on white's group, and white will always need to take care that this group doesn't get in danger of being enclosed, for example, because then black can start a capturing race with his group in the corner. So this was a very, very bad exchange. Then black extends from the wall. All right, yes, a common variation, and then white descends. This is not really a good move. We play like this in Joseki, and then we get center. In the game, white descends, which is gote. Now black should just extend from the wall. If white tries to cut, all right, white can cut, but black also gets this move in center. It's not any good for white, this fight. And if black is afraid, black can always think of just ignoring it and letting white go through. It, in fact, also doesn't have that big value if black can create a moyo on the right side. But well, of course, it's better if we can cut white. Black added a move. This was very slow by black. If I am white now, I would probably split the side because black has a wall. So if we play a corner approach, it's quite natural for black to play a pincer. Yes, black goes for this, but now black chooses that side. How is the ladder? This is that famous ladder. Yeah, the ladder is good for black, so maybe it's better to play this and this. White plays like that, and then black captures white in the ladder. And then, yeah. If white goes out, then it's a good exercise, so please calculate it. Stop the video and calculate it, and if you did, then now I show. Black goes with the stones like this. White goes on the inside, connects, and then black captures everything. It's even possible that your opponent misses it and extends out. So like this is the type of mistake that is possible to happen. Of course, like if your opponent is careful, they will read the ladder properly, seeing that you are going for this. But it might be that your opponent blunders this, and then you easily win the game. Like practical advice. But anyway, like of course, white should play here. Black gets a lot of outside influence, but black doesn't get the influence towards the right side, which is the most interesting. So maybe we should play like this. Let's say white connects, black connects. Well, maybe it's better for white than going for this, but still at least black gets the good direction of play. In the game, we see this Joseki, which is locally better for black, but the direction of play is correct for white. White reduces black's area, very interesting choice. Yeah, we need to play something to reduce the area, so it's not bad what white did. And then here, yes, it would feel very good if we could play something like this first, but white was afraid that it might be countered by black's cut, I think. And yeah, it would be problematic because black is super strong everywhere around here. So white plays the tiger's mouth. Black invades. Yes, good. White goes in. Big move also. Push. Yeah, very good. Before we defend, we force our opponent to force us to defend. Now we defend. Yes, all good. Not necessarily a good exchange for black because now we owe a move around here. But now black goes out, and at this moment, I think that this is the crucial moment of the game. Black pushes out, and of course threatens destroying white's shape. But white simply followed black's plan. White added so many stones to this group, but gave black the chance to split the bottom side. And this is very, very valuable. Playing around here, attack this, maybe swallow all of that on a big scale, taking a lot of territory. I think that white shouldn't protect the shape in the center, and white should take this moment to play on the bottom side, take the territory there himself. If black cuts, all right, let him cut. White is fine. White will certainly manage the group. There is still this very pleasant move, Hane, on the side. It shouldn't be a problem for white. Of course, there is a lot to be of power which black can take by cutting white around there. But I think that this was just too slow, and now white is in trouble. It's a difficult choice now how to continue. Should we just give away the stones and reduce black from the top and then continue like this? Maybe this is a good choice, but we sacrifice a lot of points, so white decided to go out. But this I think black should extend up, but this is super risky because now our wall is very much in danger, and yeah, also any moyo which white could have counted on creating on the left side is gone. So maybe it was better to play from the top and sacrifice. Later we can still also play from here and then there. It's a good strategy, I think. Like this, it's very risky, but this move of black was very slow and white plays from the top. So in the end, it ends up a bit similar, that white played from the top, black gained a few points. And the game is still normal, still it's an even game. But right now, white played risky. Usually you play this exchange first and only then you play here. You are not afraid of the cut because then you can destroy black's shape in the corner. So what black does after this move of white is simply extending. This is a normal development. If black connected, then maybe Hane is not that interesting, but we can, I don't know, jump. Looks like a good move. Or maybe play here to create a base. I don't know, extend or not extend. Maybe we can somehow ignore it because like it looks like that we owe a move because black can Hane, but black can Atari, but this Atari is not interesting for black because it's got it, black needs to go back. So in fact, the position looks more or less like this or like this. If white wants, white can even make these exchanges to make sure that there is a weakness in black's shape. And then yeah, maybe we don't need to play locally. Maybe we can play somewhere on the top. But in the game, white plays double Hane now, and now it becomes very risky because black cuts. It is always possible to go like this, but black is usually rather satisfied by capturing that stone of white, but it's a compromise also. But in the game, white connects, and now it's a difficult fight. White is enclosed. White needs to now become very, very careful because one wrong step and the whole game is going into a disaster for white. How to play? Maybe this is a good spot. Looks very much like a vital point. If black splits, let's say with this ugly shape, probably black shouldn't do this. Then would be good if we can start the ko, but not sure about that. All right, but here we can actually cut. All right, so we start the ko and then play here. White should be alive. White should live generally here for sure. But white cuts, which is, well, a neutral point, kind of. And now white's group is more in trouble. Still, it might be possible to live, but already more risky. Cut here. Okay, yeah, good threat. And now how to make life. Yeah, it's all about this. For example, if white plays like that, it's only a ko life, which is not satisfactory enough. Maybe this move and then this. There should be a chance to make life, but it's difficult. In the game though, white did something wrong, and in the end the group died. And then it's over. Suddenly white collapsed, and then there is no chance. So a few moves later, white resigned. So is there still a chance here? Difficult to say. Maybe white can try to go into a capturing race against black's group. because there is a lot of Haji in black's shape. This is a Tesuji, right? This looks good for white, but black can connect. Then white still connects. Actually, it's still problematic for black. So yeah, maybe splitting black. Maybe then black needs to play here and somehow connect. This is some sort of compromise, though probably black is already happy by capturing white's group. But white can still continue the game. And in the game, white simply died. And then it was a disaster. So very unfortunate. Good game from both sides. Calm, long, and then suddenly white collapsed, unfortunately. So that's it about this game, and let's move to the next one.